Hey there everyone, it's AJ Van Rixtel and I'm back with another video. On today's video, this is part 3 of a 3-part series where I am going to be now doing the layout for my book cover for the sequel to A Collision of Worlds. This will also include a title reveal. As you can see here, there is a little bit of a tip in the title there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the images that I'm going to use onto the computer, onto the page, so that I can use those and position them around. I have the images up now, and what you saw me do a moment ago was just purely select it, because otherwise, and then get rid of the white box that would have been around it. Otherwise it would have interacted weirdly with the other images. Now I did do a bit of resizing as well off camera, so that's why they came on quite big when I originally did them, so because I saved them quite big, so that means that when they shrink they still maintain their definition there. So I am going to be having a little bit of a bleed border there, because if I do it right up to close to the edge, then that bit will form in the crease of the front of the cover once I start doing the sides and back cover. So I need to make sure that I maintain that level there. I also changed these to raster layers rather than image layers, so that I could do that work there. So this character in the center is going to be actually a silhouette, so I'm actually going to make this all black. So if I start to do that now by selecting the areas, I can then do that, because this is always going to be a silhouette. And then that area there, and then all I need to do is, oh, there's a bit there to get that and that and that. Have I got everything in there? Let's zoom in. Oh, there's a bit missing there. Right, now then, this should, if I do selection, expand 2 points, I should then be able to fill this in black. Yeah, and I think I may have missed a spot, so let's just go back. See, you always find that you miss spots on these things, because it can be difficult to get to. Especially where like your pen's been, so I missed a spot there. Also missed that spot. And there. Okay. Right. Selection. Expand. The reason why I'm expanding it is so that there's not little white blobs around when I try to. Missed another spot. So let's go back and do this. There we go. And this time, selection, expand selected area to. There we go. And then if I do deselect, see there's still bits missing, but what I can do then is come in with the spray paint tool, just get those little bits, and there. So what I'll do is I will quickly go and do that in a bit of time lapse. I've now added all of the colour onto, or the black onto there, and I think that's going to be quite good there like that. Oh, I've just lost this. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a layer of sort of like tendrily like shadows coming from this character at the front. What I'm going to do first though is I'm just going to use the curve tool there like that, just to add a bit of a curve there. Oh, that's not wanting to do. I don't want it to do that. Let's just turn that off for a moment. That's because I had it so that it tapers off at the end. There we go, that's better. So what I will need to do, I think, is just maybe move it up a little bit, because I want there to be enough space. Let's move you up too. There needs to be enough space really for the title of well, my name up at the top, and also the title at the bottom. So this is what really this is all about. I'm just going to be spending a lot of my time now jiggling about with different bits and pieces. I still think that's a little too low. I want to do this before I start adding colour, otherwise I'm going to have to end up. Nah, I think that's much better now. I'll be able to put the title there and things. So let's start with this then. No, I want this, which is my line art pen. I think this needs to be a bit bigger. There we go. So if I just do some random that's a bit too big now. I need to make this so that it's. So the challenge is I'm using a mouse, so you don't get as much dexterity with a mouse as you do with a. So I'm going to play around with this so that I'm not trying to do this without being able to speak. So I'll be back once I've got that done. I now have the main images done for the front cover here. As you can see, I've done it so that the like sort of black shadows kind of go past and up towards, in front of, and things, just to add just a little bit of depth to it, so that it does look a little bit more sort of 3D-ish sort of effect, even though it's still got that sort of silhouette-esque sort of feel to it. So now that I've got this, I want to save this image just because it's I quite like the image, to be fair, and I want to save it without all of the letterings and things like that I'm going to have on there. So if I just go on to export single layer as a PNG, I will then need to go and do that. So I will be back once I've done that. So I've just been having a bit of a look on my other cover that I did for the previous book in the series, and I used silhouettes in that. However, I did have a bit of a difference. I did have a bit of colour in there. So I've just gone back to where the original one was. As you can see here, I had these two circles. Now I would like to encompass that once again in this particular in this particular book cover as well. So there's a bit of continuity there, because as you can see, this the second one is a bit of a step up from that one. There's a bit more detail in there, so I just want to add just around here maybe some more of these. So I'll do that now. Just some of those like globus type things there. So let's just quickly go, and because I want to get the colour from there, I want to make sure I've got the right colour, and then I will find that tool, ellipse, there we go, and then create a perfect circle. As with most programs, you need to do that. Book 1. So the smaller planet is the one there. So as you can see, I've just added those on there just as sort of extra image there. So what I'll do now is I'll just export that again. So I find it's important to just save things and keep saving them, just to make sure that you do that, so you can look back as well and see the progress of each thing. So I'm a little unsure about the hard edges there. I'm not sure whether or not I want their bodies to come all the way down. Let's have a look. So this is all about like trial and error, really, just to try and get the idea for it. So if I go back, and I'll do that now, and here I have the image that I've settled on. I did this off camera. There was a little bit of work involved, and I didn't really want to have to keep babbling on, so I have managed to do that. I just need to sort this out because apparently I've missed something here. So let me just go on to this. This one is the front one, but it will be on the back tendrils. So let's just do this. There we go. Let's got rid of that now. So I've left this little sort of out. There we go. Get rid of that as well. I've left this sort of little outliney bit here because it kind of just makes it stand out a little bit. So I'm now on to the part where I'm going to start adding a bit of text to this. I've already saved this image as a standard image without any text on there, so I thought I'd go on to the new canvas that I've created here with my various tags. So I want to have it with obviously my name on there, AJ Van Rixtel, and then also the series title, which is A Collision of Worlds. So I'm going to put the name on first because I know exactly where that's going to go. So if I go back onto here, Control C, go back, it should appear there like this. So this is going to appear right up here. And there we go, that's what I wanted, and make it a bit bigger. I want to get this pretty much in the same sort of spot that I had on my original book cover. So if I go back onto book 1, you'll see there's a little bit of a gap there, and so that should mirror that there like so. Now the reason why I've left such a big space down here is because that is where I plan on keeping the putting the actual title of the book, which I will be revealing shortly. I'm just gonna copy this, and it goes there. This needs to also resize that. Come here. Put that there like that. Apply transformation. That's the right sort of size that I want for it. I might move that around. See the best position. Probably there like that, in line with that there. I do like that sort of little bit of uniformity with it when it comes to this sort of thing. So keep that there. Or I may even put it like here. And then have book 2 of A Collision of Worlds. But I'll see how that goes for now. So now I suppose is the ultimate part of this sort of series, and that is the title reveal. So I said that there's a bit of a tip in the thing there. So I just need to that's why it's done that. Okay. Right, I don't want that font. I should have selected the font that I wanted a while back. Oh, I quite like that. Let's have a look at that. So, let's get on to the title reveal. Let's see, it keeps changing the font now. Narcism, that's the one I want. The Mortal Princesses. So there you have it. The name of my next novel is going to be known as The Immortal Princesses. So, A Collision of Worlds, Book 2, The Immortal Princesses. I'm going to play around with this for a bit now, and then I'll come back once I have sorted out got like the layout and everything the way I want. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little series of mine. I've revealing the book cover, the name of the book for my second release, which should be sometime this year. I don't yet have a set date for it, but you will certainly be the first lot to know. I feel as though I was quite lucky with finding a font that I quite like for this. Narcism it's called. So I'll probably make sure I jot that down, because I forgot which font I used originally for the first part in this. So as always, this will be released at some point this year. If you could check out the first book in the series, which is A Collision of Worlds, then that will bring you nicely onto the second book, which is The Immortal Princesses. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed watching. I certainly enjoyed making this. So until next time, ta-ra!